won't go because they're looking at their phone or whatever. But
Yeah, like today I had a near miss. I mean, literally, if I was like 2 seconds faster, I mean, I would have hit that guy. I mean, he totally just jumped out in the middle of traffic for like no reason, like when he should not have gone. And I like, I was feet away from just
yeah,
nailing him,
yeah,
and I was just like, oh, dude, because I mean, it would have hit him on the door, and he would have just been gone.
yeah.
Especially going that speed. Oh,
Well, even the foot traffic is awful. Like today, I was like maybe a mile from the shop, just coming back from a delivery, and a lady like crosses like right in front of me, like she's supposed to because the light's right in front of me, and then she tries to like within oncoming traffic coming towards her, she tries to cross like north south, which is the light I'm stopped at. So there should be like a red hand on the stoplight that says, "Hey, you're not supposed to walk." And in all honesty, it looked like she was a little of a mess. Like,
yeah,
we
you
we
get
have like
those.
a huge homeless population where we work, and this lady was struggling, and she had like a coffee in her hand, a few trash bags with her, and she's like booking it across the street into oncoming traffic. And this big black Escalade comes and it is not slowing down. And I can see a tiny little blonde soccer mom in driving, and she looks determined to like hit this lady, or like I am not slowing down.
I'm not slowing down.
And
You're
so
gonna be the
she,
teddy bear on the front of my semi truck.
Lord, it was bad. And luckily the lady dove out of the way at the last second and made it onto the sidewalk. But like people either they're too slow or they just don't give a shit, and they'll hit you if you're in the wrong way.
Maybe this is just my issue and I'm too anxious, but like when I'm driving, right, and I'm making a left, and it's totally clear, no cars are coming. It's like, can the people get out of the crosswalk? Because I just want to turn left.
Yeah.
So then you like start to like get out into the intersection, and then people are still crossing. And you're like, come on. And then you see a clearing. So then you start to turn left, right?
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, a bunch of bikers just come through, and you're like, no, stop. You're gonna hurt yourself. Like, please, no.
Yeah.
The little blinking hand on the thing
It says
has
no.
5 seconds, dude.
You
Like,
cannot
do you
make it
really think
across.
you're gonna do that? I know you possibly can, but bro, I will hit you.
Yeah, like, and then people always try to rush across, and then you're stuck at that awkward red light when everyone's starting to go, and you're still in the intersection,
Yeah.
and you have to awkwardly make that fast left turn. Oh, it's bad. But
Oh, those are my favorite. I just sit in the middle of an intersection until it turns yellow, and then I see when people are slowing down, and then I just like, so it's like I'm guaranteed to go. It was like, for at least cops looking, it's like, oh, I messed up by being in the intersection, but it's kind of like for getting around traffic, like you're trying to turn right, but they're not giving you enough space to like turn right,
mm-hmm.
but you have enough to get like a quarter of your car through.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the time, so I drive like more of an SUV type of car. Most of the time, I just completely just go on the sidewalk. Like,
Yeah.
I think honestly, it's faster just driving on sidewalks.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do. That pizza's gotta be warm. If you're gonna be a real true za slinger, if you're gonna sling the za, you gotta make sure that shit's warm.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, speaking of cops, you mentioned cops earlier. We have a funny story from last night. So,
Oh my god.
a group of our friends are just wanted to go to Walmart to get some energy drinks because we all worked in the morning. So we take a group trip down to good old Wally World, and our friend is by himself because he had to leave at some point to meet up with a girl. And so he's booking it. He's going like 60, 65, and a 45. And most of us are in our friend's truck. which is a big lifted truck. And we're trying to keep up with him, but we don't want to, get pulled over. So he's obviously ahead of us, our friend in a little Hyundai Elantra. And he's zooming through a light, and it turned yellow, zoomed through, and we're, I would say, like 100, 200 feet behind him. Turns red, and I'm thinking to my friend, I'm like, oh, I don't think he's going to stop. I don't think he's going to stop. He doesn't stop. He blows right through the red light.
Like, it was red.
It was red. And we're all thinking to ourselves, like, wouldn't it be funny if our friend in front of us got caught for speeding and got pulled over right now? And so we're coming up to the light right next to Wally World, and we're about to turn in, and a car pulls up behind us, and we turn in to the parking lot of Wally World, and we see blue and red flashes right behind us. And so our friend in the driver's seat said, "Oh shit, are you kidding me?" So we pull over. The cop comes to the window and is like, he's like, "You guys," he
just walks up and goes, "Get out of the car now."
Yeah, didn't even say, like, "Do you know how fast you're going?" Blah, 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 blah. Just get out of the car. So he gets out, goes and talks to the officer. And
he's of darker complexion, so we were all a little worried.
Fuck. Yeah, so we were all worried. And because most of the people in the car were white, except for me and the driver. So we were a little worried nonetheless. So he's talking to him forever. Like, if you were just going to give him a ticket and go. But that didn't happen. He talked to him for like another 5-10 minutes. He comes back to the car, sits in the passenger seat, dead silent. We're like, "Oh, what's wrong? Like, what did he say?" And he's like, he said, "I need to calm down my driving." Not even that, like, "Hey, you ran a red light. Don't do that. You can't do that." Just like,
and the
calm
cop
down
was
your
like
driving.
questioning his truck. Okay, so first off, this guy has like a very lifted truck. It's very obvious it's lifted. Like, you could do the like Hawaiian limbo under it type of thing,
Not like so much that you like need a step ladder to get up, but it's definitely a lifted truck.
It's definitely lifted. You could totally crawl under that thing, no issue, right?
Yeah.
And so the cop asks him and goes, "Is this a lifted truck?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, are these aftermarket taillights?" He's like, "Yeah." The cop was questioning like every inch of his truck. And then I guess you, like, if you lift your truck a certain amount, like, you have to have mud flaps or something on it.
Yeah.
So he tried to get him for that, but then my friend was just like, "Yeah, they got stolen." So it was just like, and then the cop like comes back after he came back to the car. The cop comes back and just yells at the other guy, because there was like a middle seat and
The bitch seat.
Yeah, the bitch seat. And the cop comes back and just yells at him and is like, "Hey, you're in front of an officer. You know you should have your seatbelt on right now, right?" And he's just like, "Shit, like, I took it off. Holy crap." And the cop just walks off.
No, he didn't take it off. It was like under the seat, so you can't really get it without all of us, or all three of us in the front seat, like, getting out, digging for it. So like we were just going down the street to Walmart, and like, we didn't think it would be a big deal.
And so the cop just yells at him and then walks back to his car. We're thinking he's running the plates or something, because he never said, "Oh, you're free to leave." You know how cops normally say that? Like, the cop just gets back in its car, sits there for like 3-4 minutes, and because there was a second cop that came too, I guess. And then they just both split and took off like as fast as possible. I was like, holy shit, what the fuck?
Yeah, like,
it was hilarious though.
Yeah, no, like, in hindsight, it's hilarious because our friend didn't get ticketed. Nothing happened. It was just like a little slap on the wrist.
Nah, I mean, dude, if you delivery drive, you can get away with anything.
That's
a car
true.
topper, but we should probably save that for another podcast. All the crazy stuff we get away with.
Definitely, that's a whole podcast in itself.
But well, I think we'll end it here. We'll keep it short for the time being, for it being our first podcast. Plenty more stories to come with. Yeah, we'll try and keep you updated with more podcasts. Thank you for listening to Pillow Talk Podcast. I am Alex.
And I am Devin.
Have a nice night.